just going to make a simple statement about what I think a relationship should be for me. And what's the word? The I hate to say probability because that's cheap, but I'll say the practicality of a mindset like that in the environment I'm in, and I'll expand on that. So go ahead and start with what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a normal ass person. I'm looking for, well, see, that's the thing. Nobody's normal anymore. If you know what I'm saying. I don't think, and this sounds so reductive and I sound like a damn bully. But in my opinion, right, I think, just in my opinion, I'm not saying this is fact, but like most people are just, they aren't inherently this way because of what they've been doing and how society is, rather, but it's because of how they normally are expressing who they are that makes it so difficult to find something real and not ideal, but real and worth it, like solid. That can only kind of be done in quiet settings, of course, and this is all good stuff. Vulnerability is strength. There are times to be vulnerable and not. But even take that essence of human connection, where it really gets deep. You really know somebody. I try to create this, and I do a pretty good job of pushing it away. So maybe this is just me, and that's cool. But I'm just saying, this is how I feel right now, on this day, in history, in my life. I do feel like a large facet of human character has been lost as a collective. And I can't go on without saying that there is always some influence of some outside influence to each character. What is a self? Maybe a self is just a collection of influences and programming. But I can say without a doubt, I think that because of social media, and really it's really just social media in a big way, because of social media, there's an undercurrent. Well, there's an undercurrent of, there's a stronger force of cultural augmentation, cultural shape, if you know what I'm saying. It's in me. It's in everyone. It has been since the dawn of time. Our parents shape us, our friends shape us real young because their parents shaped them so young, and the state and all this kind of stuff. There's always an element of fitting in to society. You have to do that to a certain extent to survive. I'm not going to go walk around naked, right? That's crazy. Even if I want to, which I kind of do. But where was I? So that free spirit, though, that individuation that takes place as people grow and change and become who they are. I think of Aldous Huxley's Brave New World. Never said his name out loud. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, where everyone is created from the same sperm and egg cell, or something like, you know what I'm saying? And they were talking about how they were reaching new numbers in the lab of, 16,000 from one sample, 16,000 individuals. And if behavior patterns, ideas, and that's really all there is to it in this case, if behavior patterns, ideas, and that's as far as I'll take that, if those two things become monotone or become the same everywhere else, there's probably a word for that, if they become monoculture, sure, like a monoculture, we see this in the world. If they become sort of monoculture within culture, especially young people with, certain tendencies to watch certain things or really be pushed to an algorithm for certain things because they, played sports growing up or lived in this, geographical area, whatever. The more that happens and the more I see it, it's everywhere. It's in me. It's everywhere. The more influence that social media has on you, the less authentic, real expression there is to be had. There's just not room. You can only be one person, excluding multiple personality disorders and all this stuff. But things are, there's probably some better way to phrase this, but it's almost like propaganda isn't about the information, but it's about what you think about, or it's how you feel. People say, some lady said, people don't remember you for what you say, but how you make them feel. So if you see a lot that makes you feel a certain way, you're going to associate the same pattern just by feeling that feeling. Your brain's going to associate, not you, right? Your unconscious, subconscious is going to associate that same information pattern. Like if a girl grows up watching, some crazy shit about all dudes just being the worst or something, or her mom, of course, if her mom tells her that, it's the same concept. Of course, not as extreme, per view on social media. If your mother tells you something, I assume you're gonna hold that to heart, or that's gonna have a greater impression on you. But it's the same idea, and the sheer number of times you're gonna see this kind of stuff, because it's so addicting and everyone else is doing it and reinforcing those ideas around you. Oh, okay, people older than you. You're gonna start to believe it too, I think. And we get into all these kinds of different identities that are manufactured by fucking numbers in San Francisco or some shit. It's literally how things are. I wonder, we get philosophical, we can talk about free will and awareness about myself. Even as I look into this camera at myself, why am I looking at myself? I mean, is that cool? Is that the people around me just being vain or some shit, or is, or do we just like that, You know what I'm saying? It's confusing stuff. I'm getting confused. Sorry. But it feels like I'm not talking to a real person. Even within the context of life goals. I'm here at college. What are we doing? I mean, did I really make this decision? Did I really have all my options laid out in front of me? And of course, not even the wisest know all ends. but I was never even given the choice. Not that I'm not extremely lucky. Not that I'm not. Why not me, baby? Why not me, right? But you know, I'm good, but the system, you know, I can only say that. And I'm losing coherence and consciousness because I'm exhausted. I've got to wake up in 7 hours. So it's about time I get some rest. Gonna upload this. Just drop a comment. Something simple if you rock with this. I'm gonna get back to y'all, whoever, later on, and we'll just see how things are going, man.